What is going on, everybody? We have a very special guest with us today. We have San Francisco 49ers offensive lineman Jonathan Feliciano with us. We're going to talk 49ers. We're going to talk O-line specifically, and we might even get into some tape right after this. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see it. Big John, thank you so much for joining us today. Always a pleasure when we can get a player on and get inside the mind of what you guys go through on a daily basis and all that type of stuff. What are the vibes like? How are you doing, man?
Thanks for having me on, man. Everything's good right now. Excited to be in a new place, learning a completely new offense. So that's exciting.
So I want to start right there. Like since you're learning a new offense, what are one of the major differences going from, let's just say your last spot with the Giants to the 49ers? 49ers run kind of like, from my understanding at least, like this outside zone, but there's a lot
Mhm.
of gap scheme as well. What would you say you ran with the Giants, and what is the differences with the 49ers?
Yeah, I mean, with the Giants, I was just continuing on from my 3 years in Buffalo with the playbook. So there wasn't really anything new or any. There was little wrinkles and stuff, but not anything new that's gonna, you know, jack me up mentally. Um, so yeah, so it's been a while since having to learn something new and new terminology, new techniques. It's been exciting because it's uh, it's just the added challenge of learning things and putting my verbiage into their verbiage. It's fun because it's not like the monotony of all right, third year, fourth year into the learning the new playbook every OTAs or the same playbook every OTAs. It's been fun.
So, like, would you say that's one of the hardest parts of like changing schemes is like the verbiage, like because you're doing similar things, right? But it's like
Hmm.
it's coded completely different.
Yeah, so like path protection wise, pretty much similar. But the problem with that is it's the verbiage of like their slides, the way they want to slide their line. Say it was one word, it meant a different word in the Giants. So like in the heat of the battle, you got to make sure that you don't revert to some of the stuff that you knew before, or you're going to mess up the protection. And
Yeah,
then,
we don't want that, right?
yeah, you don't want that. And then in the run game, there's a lot of new nuances that we do here,
Mhm.
um, which is exciting. I like to say I know a lot about football, so learning this new stuff and why they're doing the things that they do, it's a testament to the coaches. I mean, it's pretty genius, I would say.
I mean, that's what we hear, about obviously Kyle Shanahan, and then it trickles down. It's just
Mhm.
like there's a key for almost everything, right? Like it's like the defense is going to show you what they're going to do, or at least pre-snap, and then
Mhm.
you have a set of keys, right, that are based on whatever they're showing you. And so it makes it really hard for defenses, right? Because you're
Mhm.
constantly attacking their weakest point of the defense. Like that's kind of, would you say that's like what Kyle's doing over there?
Yeah, and they have a whole ton of motions and shifts, and man, you're never letting the defense just see the pitcher until we're snapping the ball.
Absolutely, man. It's so much fun to watch the offense. Excited to see how you get integrated in. Obviously, I mean, what you've been in the building a couple days, even that. What's
A
your kind
few,
of first
few weeks.
impression? You've been there a couple weeks.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, what's your first impression of the building, the locker room? I mean, we hear a lot about the locker room culture and the vibes inside that building. Are you sensing that? Because you've played for a couple teams.
Yeah.
Did you feel that when you came on over?
Yeah, definitely. It's very similar to what we had in Buffalo and what I had in the Giants last year, where guys are truly bought in and do everything the right way, and there's no like you needing to go out of your way, but hey, you don't need to be doing this, you need to be doing that. Everyone's already doing what they're supposed to do, and yeah, I mean, being with the O line, it's just going from one O line to another. It's just you get the same guys, different places. You know, funny. We're offensive linemen. We're usually the same kind of people. And we got some funny guys in the room, so it's been fun getting to know them and be around the building.
Have you had a chance to meet Trent Williams? I'm not sure if Trent.
No, he's not there yet. Let the big dog.
Oh yeah, give Trent all the time in the world,
Yeah,
right?
no, but I'm excited. I'm excited to get to know him and be around greatness.
Absolutely. I mean, Trent is near and dear to a lot of our hearts, obviously, as San Francisco 49ers fans. Mine personally, being an O-line guy, just
Mm-hmm.
being able to watch what Trent has been able to do. Like, do you get the sense that, I mean, there have been a lot of greats to play the offensive line. I mean, you go down a long list. Obviously, Trent is up there, but it feels like, I don't know if you've had a lot of time to study Trent's game or not, but it just feels like he almost attacks O line like a D lineman. Do you kind of get that sense
He's
a little bit?
he's so quick, man, so athletic to, like you said, attacking like a defensive lineman. He's on people so quick that it's like you can't teach that. He does a lot of stuff where like we're coached to do something and like it's supposed like perfect. Like if everything went perfect, you'll get it, but he gets it every single time. It's we've been watching film on offense, learning the offense and stuff, and you can't help but peek over there and see what the left tackle's doing every play.
He's so much fun to watch, man. Like I got to pinch myself sometimes, like because as we talked offline, like big offensive line guy. I love watching the O line week in week out. So I'm reminding myself anytime I get to watch some Trent Williams tape, like cherish these moments because I mean I feel like I'm watching one of the best offensive linemen to ever play the game, and it's just
Yeah,
like
he's definitely up there, and I think once he retires, uh, he'll get even more love. He'll definitely be on the Mount Rushmore of left tackles.
I love it, man. I love talking offensive line. We got offensive lineman Jonathan Feliciano, new 49ers O lineman. So let's talk a little bit about like I've never had the opportunity to talk to a player about kind of like the free agency process
Mm-hmm.
because you've been on the team since about March
Mm-hmm.
or so. What is that process like, and what was your process like
It's
going
the
through
worst.
free?
It's the worst process ever. It's so stressful. Having a wife and kids, having to pick them up, and my daughter's going into the first grade next year, so having her move schools almost every year, it's not a good feeling, but obviously lucky to find myself to have a job, so can't complain.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely the hard part, having a young family, having to pick up and move and because you
Mhm.
just went coast to coast, man. You just went from New York
Yeah, my
to
whole
Cali.
career it's been Cali or New York, so New
Yeah,
Jersey, the Giants are in New Jersey. We're in New York, but we're in Jersey. But
absolutely.
yeah, it's either been California or New York.
Yeah, because this isn't your first time in the Bay. You've
Mhm.
had some time here before, but not with the San Francisco 49ers,
I
with the
had
other team.
Yeah, I had no idea how close I was to the Niners facility when I was in Oakland. My last 2 years, I was like 30. I could have lived there and went to the Niners. I was like 27 minutes away. I think I saw. So
Yeah.
small world, but definitely part of a better organization.
Ooh! I mean, we knew it. We weren't going to say anything, but I did want to actually get to this, so let's get into it right now. You were a part of the final Battle of the Bay, correct?
Yeah, we got a butts whoop, I believe. I don't know if you guys played before. Played after that point, but yeah, we played. I think it was a Thursday night game. I had broken ribs. Fun game. Yeah.
Did you break them in that game, or you
No,
played
we
through?
played Seattle and London. That's when it happened. Flew back, and then I think we played you guys like 2 weeks later, or maybe it was like the third week, but it was the Thursday night game, so it was like 2.5 weeks. Yeah, I can't. But yeah, y'all, yeah, y'all kicked our butts. I know we had Kalechi move from was Donald. I think no who got some. I think the right tackle got hurt, so Donald Penn moved over to the right tackle, and Kalechi moved out to left tackle. And I was playing left guard, so it was a fun day.
Well, for me, from my perspective, it was it's probably one of the top games that I've been to as a 49er fan. I mean, I got the Battle of the Bay towel right above my head.
It was a great game to be a part of, though. I mean, that Battle of the Bay was, the week leading up. You hear crazy stories about Raider fans and 49er fans.
Yes.
So it was fun to be a part of that game.
Absolutely. I mean, it was wild because you guys were technically kind of like a playoff team, right? Or like
We
at
were
least
in
had
the hunt,
playoff
definitely. I believe we were in
aspiration.
the hunt, yeah.
Of course you had Carr there. Was that Jack Del Rio was your head coach back then?
Yes.
Think
I think that might have been Jack. Oh, actually, I can't remember if that was my third or fourth year. If it was the third year, it was definitely Jack, and we were not a playoff team then. That third year we were not really good. Or second year we had a really good year. If Derek didn't break his ankle, I think we had
yes, I remember that.
a good chance. We ran the ball a lot, and then we had Coop and Crab just going over the top. But I think that was probably my third year, I believe.
Yeah, I think that was your third year, 2018.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I have good memories from it. It sounds like maybe your memories aren't as fond, but did you like really get us? That was like one of the like defining, I won't say defining moment in Levi Stadium, but it was like the stadium was packed. I mean, the 49ers, I think.
Oh, it was a loud. It was. I remember it was. It was. I think it might have been fully packed out. I mean, it was loud. It was It was definitely up there. One of the loudest games I played in.
Yeah, I mean, the 49ers had not much success. We were on our third string quarterback getting his
Yeah, you
first
were.
start.
Wasn't he making his first start? Yeah.
Nick Mullins, undrafted free agent.
He
Like it
went
was
off. I
just
think he went off too. I
he
can't
did.
remember.
He got verified mid-game on Twitter. That was I enjoyed that as a fan. Obviously, it's fun being able to talk to someone who's actually involved in that game on the other side. But nonetheless, you're a 49er now. So it's cool how things can change like that. But
Mhm.
I kind of want to get back onto the offensive line and the kind of the O line room. Um, do actually no, yeah. Did you know Chris Forster prior to signing,
No,
or is this a new relationship?
it's a new relationship, but he's a funny guy. I'm enjoying being around him.
He's been great for us, and
Mhm.
what he's been able to do these last couple of years, like especially with a lot of shifting happening up front. It's been really cool to have him on the squad. Do you have any like expectations, or like what's your mindset heading into training camp? Are you competing for a specific spot, or are you just making yourself available for wherever they need you?
I'm definitely competing. Um, I don't know how specific they want me to be, but I'm definitely competing for a spot up front. In worst case scenario, in my eyes, I can be the backup rotational guy.
Absolutely. So that was again, we talked a little bit offline. Watching your tape, man, I'm like, dude, we just signed a starter. Like when I was watching you, whether it was against Philly, the Commanders, whichever team you played for, because I wanted to make sure. I was like, okay, who's this offensive lineman that we're signing? And I wanted to get into the tape a little bit. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
man, we got a guy. I don't feel like Jonathan is just coming in to be a backup. Obviously, we have starters at the position, but this is football, and you bring in competition for every spot. So it sounds like you're heading into training camp. You're competing, which is going to make you and whoever you're competing against better at the end of the day. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and at the end of the day, the most important thing to me, I want to win the Super Bowl. I mean, I'm getting up there in age. I don't know how much years I got left. Hopefully I can make it to 12, maybe a little more, depending how the body's feeling. But yeah, my time's running out, and definitely want to win one.
So what are you, 9 years? 9 years into the league?
Going into number 9. Yep.
How does that feel? Like I'm sure you have times of reflection and looking back and just like kind of grounding yourself like where you're at and what you also want to accomplish. Obviously, we're aligned. We're hunting for that 6th ring. We've been looking for it for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So we're aligned there for sure. But do you just have moments of reflection like man, former 4th round pick, I'm 9 years in. You have the ability to say, "My goal is to play 12 years." That's
Mm-hmm.
pretty cool, right?
Yeah. I mean, it happens in a blur.
Yeah.
Like I spent 4 years in Oakland, and I made lifelong friends there, and enjoyed my time in the Bay, and then like it's just crazy. Like I was on Buffalo for 3 years, went there, and it was kind of people weren't expecting much, especially my first year. Ended up making the playoffs, lost in the game we should have won in Houston, and then we had, the next year we went to the conference finals or championship versus the Chiefs. And then we lost to the Chiefs, and we lost to the Chiefs the following year. So, and then it all happened so fast. And then we went to the playoffs last year with the Giants. So I've been fortunate going to playoffs 4 years in a row. And yeah, dude, it happened so fast. I tell these rookies now, like, you're gonna wake up one day, you're going to year 9, and I remember last year I was talking to, I forgot, it was a young rookie, or maybe a second year dude. Shoot, I think I was talking to Andrew Thomas, and I was just like,
Great
I told
tackle.
him, yes, he's really good. I told him, yeah, I graduated in high school in 2010, and he said something like, I think he graduated like 18, or I don't know. It was somewhere that made me feel so old. It was like, oh.
You're making me feel old. I'm '07, so it's like we're closer, but I was
Yeah.
like, dang.
Yeah.
No, I feel you. Just obviously completely different perspectives, but like I've been doing this independently since 2017, and it's like I'm like, it's been 6 years since it doesn't feel like that, but I'm like, dang, it's been
Mm-hmm.
6 years since I've been doing this. It's crazy, man. It's time is an interesting concept,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, we're still striving. We want that ring. So
Mm-hmm.
we're glad that you're bringing that mentality to the room, because I feel like, would you say that's the expectation here? The expectation for the 49ers is to go all the way. It's get to the playoffs, but there's a
Mm-hmm.
purpose for getting to the playoffs.
Yeah, I think the last 2 years, weren't they in the conference championship?
Yep.
And weren't they
3 of
were in
the last
the Super
4.
Bowl?
Yep, 3 of the last 4.
Yeah, so I mean, there's nothing worse than losing I wouldn't know losing in the Super Bowl, but losing in the championship, with a chance to get to the Super Bowl, it sticks with you.
It sticks with us as fans too, but I can also imagine being in the trenches, going through it. It's probably a little bit different. Definitely carries a little bit more weight. But again, just love the mentality that you're being able to bring to the room. That's super cool. Um, would you say, because you did play with the Bills and you did play with the Giants, I know for a fact the Giants flipped it. Like
Mhm.
they went from probably like a bottom feeder team to like who is this team? Like
Mhm.
with Dabble, and was actually, I just made the connection. Was he a big reason why you were with the Giants?
Him and Bobby Johnson, the O-line coach there. It's crazy. Me and Bobby have been together 7 of my 8 years. Um, he was the tight end coach in Oakland my first 3 years, and then he was the O-line coach in Buffalo, and then the Giants as well. So I've been with him. It's crazy. You don't get that a lot.
Yeah, that is crazy. Like
Mhm.
that's some talk about continuity. I mean, we talk about it all the time. There's a lot of roster turnover, staff turnover. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, what would you say were some of the like components of being in both of those franchises and watching that tide kind of turn?
In terms of starting to win,
Yeah, basically.
um, I mean, for the Giants, I think it's just a credit to Dayball and the coaching staff that he brought in, and really taking the parts that he brought to Buffalo and expanding it over in the Giants. He's a really great coach and great person, and I think guys, when players have a guy like that that they can trust and know that he's not talking out of both sides of his pie hole. Um, it makes it easier to trust in what he's trying to coach and trying to bring into an organization, and really let loose on what you got.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, I don't know if you noticed, but uh, earlier today it was released that the San Francisco 49ers will be playing the Giants in prime time. I think week 3, Thursday night football. Does that game have any extra juice for you?
Oh man, of course I'm going to be texting Joe Shane and Dayball and everyone the whole week just talking crap. And they obviously have probably one of the. I would say he's the best D tackle in the league, and Dex and Leo is still really great. He's I don't want to say gets overshadowed a little bit, but I think he's starting to get a little overshadowed by what Dex has turned into. And there'll be a fun day in the office. Definitely be hard. Definitely be some smash, some crap talking going on because Dex likes to talk. Um, but I love that dude. He was great to go against every day in practice. He made me better, and I think I hope he would say I made him better.
Well, that's going to be a battle because he just got paid, right? Like
Hmm.
a significant amount.
Yeah.
He's definitely one of the better D tackles in the NFL. So that matchup, and of course, the Giants have improved. You know, they added a nice wide receiver in the draft. Saquon Barkley's coming back. Daniel Jones got
Yo,
paid.
he might not go back.
Oh,
Who,
because he
who knows?
signed.
Who
He
knows?
didn't sign the franchise.
Yeah.
He wants to get paid. He's like, "Where's my where's
Yeah.
where's my paycheck?" No, I feel that for sure. But the Giants have improved. There's another defensive tackle that you might have some familiarity with. Goes by the name Javon Hargrave,
Hmm.
and he was our big time free agent signing.
Yeah.
Um, and you played against him twice last year. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
what or no, 3 times?
I didn't play we rested the starters the last game of the season, so
Oh, that's right, that's
so
right.
technically 3 times, but I only played twice.
So, what can you tell us about Javon? Like, what is a week like preparing for Javon? What are some of his skill sets, and what do you think he's gonna be able to provide to the 49ers?
Yeah, that guy's good. Like honestly, when going like the weeks of playing them in preparation, we always said that he made everything go on that team up front wise because it's like Seven's having a great year and he has all the stats, so you're trying to slide to him, and it just opened up Hargraves to just wreak havoc everywhere. Um, and that dude has just like he has this one move and he knows that the O line is sliding away, and he'll act like he's going inside and then jump out real quick.
Do like the double hand swipe.
He does that, or sometimes he does it so fast that he doesn't even need to do the double arm swipe. He's already by the guard because he's going to make it act like he's like jetting inside.
Yeah.
And then
Get you fighting one way.
Mm-hmm. But the problem is like, then you start trying to play for that, then he's in the jet right through the middle and back to quarterback. So, and like it's coming, and you just can't stop it.
I mean, that's the game within the game, right? Like it's when you're against one athletically superior defensive tackle, like or not athletically superior, but just like a phenomenally athletic defensive tackle, and he has the ability to play those games, right? It's like you don't want to you have to stay neutral, right? Because you can't overextend yourself one way or the other because they'll pick up on that tendency, right? And then they'll attack it. Would you say that's a fair assessment?
But some guys are not smart enough to, the D line is usually the dumbest guys in the building.
Let's
But
go.
you get you get a guy that's superior athletically and smart. It's like you're in trouble.
Would you say the offensive line is the smartest group of guys in the building? Maybe
Smartest,
outside the
the smartest group, but the smartest guy is definitely got to be the quarterback.
Yeah, definitely got to be the quarterback. Well, I want to do something. We might pull up a couple film clips and just kind of get your thoughts on what's going on. I got a couple of J-Bonds. We were just talking about them, so we can kind of just. I think they're pass protection. Just kind of talk about like what your thoughts are, what you're trying to do in these types of situations. And this will be cool because I think this is going to be our first time that we actually watched some film with one of our guests. So I'm excited about that. Let's start this one at the top.
Well,
So what do you see here?
can you zoom out a little at all?
Unfortunately,
It's just cool. I mean, I can see. It's just so we're sliding left, and who's that left tackle? Oh, sorry, is that Graham up there? I think that's Graham over
here.
Andrew Thomas to the left. So we're in protection. We have the linebacker over Hargraves and anyone else that comes outside. And knowing Brandon Graham's he's still a really good player, but Andrew Thomas is or no, that's Sweat. Okay, yeah, we were pretty we thought Andrew Thomas could hold his own against Sweat most of the time. So you see Nick Gates, the left guard, staying in first to help me get over there, and
give
then
you a hand,
and then go help Thomas late. Yeah, that was planned. Hargraves, we trying to neutralize Hargraves anytime you can, and we probably have a chip going on outside for 7.
because it does look like he's like, all right, I'm gonna try to maybe threaten kind of outside, but then your left guard is right there to kind of throw a hand, and he's like,
yeah, especially with him being out in a 2-eye.
All right, I'm screwed.
Especially with him being all the way out into a 2-eye, it's a long way to go at center, especially if he just jets up the field and the guard vacates. So yeah, it was a great rep by Nick. Appreciate you, buddy.
I mean, you can definitely tell he's sliding his protection. He's got eyes outside, but that little hand, I mean, there's just enough, right, to help and get you in a good spot. All right, let's see what we got on some of these other ones. Ooh, I like this one particularly for the anchor, but tell me what you're seeing on this one.
Wish Nick would have. This is the same thing I was just talking about. I see the 2 eye. Nick doesn't get a really great punch on him that
Yeah.
time, but he does give me the booty love, so I appreciate you, Nick. But yeah, you can see Hargraves knocks my hands off, so I had to try to reposition my hands and get him inside. And it looks like it's going to be well, it's not that quick of a pass, but he definitely gets. Wish I could right there, stay right there, but I mean, he's a really good player.
Right.
Right when I hop back,
You sink the
little
Oh, come on, you can do it.
right there. I wish I could have stood right there so Daniel didn't feel. He got to feel a little uncomfortable right there. With 7 coming around, and there's not a. I wish I would have gave him like another yard to be able to step into that throw.
Right there.
Yeah.
Do you think that has a pretty big impact on quarterbacks when they feel that, like, even though you're anchoring, does
Mm-hmm.
you anchoring in front of a quarterback, like, does that have a potential to kind of skew their processing a little bit?
You see how I can see Hargrave's like helmet and color. If I could
Yep.
have been more square, I think he would have. I think that color makes guys a little nervous, especially when he can feel the right side coming. Um, yeah,
Yep, you've got the edge on the outside, kind of forcing him up into the pocket, and it's kind of
mm-hmm.
like a collapsing door a little bit. But
Yeah,
I thought you did a pretty good job of being able to recover and anchor,
mm-hmm.
give him enough time. Would that be graded as a win or neutral or
That's more of a neutral. Like you didn't like. It's not. I'm not getting dusted, beat.
right?
But for me, I wouldn't. I'm not happy with that rep just because I wish I could just been hitting him more square and a little bit like maybe a yard, maybe a half a yard more, just so where I see where my right foot ends up was okay, when my left foot was like closer to Daniel. You see, like if I was on that hash yard, I think that's a 45. If I was
Mhm.
on there, I would have been happy. Give him a yard or two to step up into it.
Yep, nope, that makes a lot of sense, and that's why I love offensive line play because it's just there's so much going on in there, right? Like there's everything that you're doing is you're fighting for hands, right? You're trying to
Mm-hmm.
get those hands and make sure that you're controlling him, but you're also trying to not give up ground. You're trying to sink your hips and anchor so that you're giving your quarterback room to step up and throw, right? Like
Yeah,
there's a lot going on in there. All right. Let's get a couple more here.
this is fun. Keep going.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. Let's go. I got another pass blocking rep here. This one I liked too because I see it as a recovery, but I'll let you kind of explain what you see here.
Yeah, that guy's a big dude.
Yes.
Um, yeah, he hit me with. I was trying to get him because when it's 5 down and you're in the middle of the pocket, so trying to keep square as much as possible. And he hit a swim move. So
Yep.
once he does that, you're just going to try to take him where he wants to go and try to throw him back out. And if I can't throw him all the way out and keep him square in front of the quarterback, make sure quarterback feels good.
I mean, I know it's kind of in the same concept of like the play we just talked about of being able to maintain a little bit more distance between you and the quarterback. But going from this view to then being here, oh, it's like I like that because I mean, again, that's a big defensive tackle, and it kind of looks like he got the edge, but to be
Mm-hmm.
able to get those hips swung back around, and again, you're fighting for everything. I thought this was a good rep. How would you determine this particular rep?
Yeah, so when you see that body position where it doesn't look really well, right there, I'm just trying to run block him outside to
Yep, that
try
makes
to just
sense.
wash him out towards the out towards the left. But then I felt him kind of change his momentum and try to go into a bull, so I squared up and took it.
I mean, again, like it's not pretty in those trenches. They call it the trenches for a reason, but I was like, it's like, man, because he did kind of get that leverage, right?
Mhm.
And then, like you said, you went into kind of run blocking mode just to clear him out as much as you could, but then to be able to swing the hips around and then kind of re-engage and try to anchor. I thought this was a good rep to like showcase your kind of athletic ability, especially from playing the center position when they're 2 inches in front of your face and you got to react quickly to be able to square back up from the original leverage. I was like, man, I was like,
Yeah. And ideally, you would love to jump set that guy, but since
mhm,
they run a lot of games, so you see me back up for a second just because I didn't know if they're going to be running the games. They do a lot of inside 3-man games, which they were trying. You can see the left side picked it up really well. I don't know if it was AT or Bob that knocked him 43 down, but they were probably trying to run a 3-man game, which was why he was probably running out. And then he felt that the game was going to happen, and then tried for the bull.
oh yeah, that looks like a big time. Like he's looping around, but he loses his footing.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Okay. Yeah. I think Bellinger might have chipped him, or I don't know what happened, but
Yeah, if I had a wider view, it would have been easier to diagnose. But still, I like what you did there. I thought that was pretty solid. Let's get into get some blocking plays. I think that was another aspect that when oh no, this one isn't run blocking. Let's do that. Let's do this one, then we'll do some run blocking
yeah.
because there I don't think there's a whole lot of really technique involved, but I love it. I feel like, when I've heard about who you are as a player, you hear like dog, you hear like just an aggressive player. Obviously, tell me about like what happens when you have a defensive lineman drop out. What are your responsibilities? What are you supposed to do? What are you looking for? What's the
um,
comp-
yeah, it
what's
changes. It changes, based on protection and which way we're sliding and whatever the call is. But right there, uh, it was they were bringing the corner outside or the safety, whoever the guy was, and yeah, my 94 had dropped out, and yeah, that feels good when that happens. I'm pretty
Man,
sure I did a little like prance after I did this. Like,
you should have because I watched it from the sideline angle, and I mean his feet like
yeah,
were midair. Like I was like, oh my goodness. Like again, it's more just kind of like, all right, you're free, right? Look for work, but
mm-hmm.
you punished that guy. He's gonna think twice
Yeah, next
about
wants to.
counter inside spin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like popped him. I
Yeah,
love that. That was a
yeah,
good one.
yeah. Mark was funny after that. It was yeah, that was nice. I felt good.
All right. One of the things that I really liked about your game as well that actually surprised me because I think I look at you like, from a body perspective, like you look like a big, powerful guy. And when I see
Sneaky
you
athletic.
sneaky athletic, when I see you out on the move, I was like, it's like, oh, pulling for okay, I'll give you like my little piece and then I'll let you break down what you're doing here.
Mm-hmm.
I love centers that can pull. Like I played center, nowhere near the level that obviously you're playing, but like I always felt like if you could pull from center, like I feel like that's a great indication
Yeah.
of the athletic ability that you can provide as an offensive lineman from that particular position. Like talk to me about that and just kind of like also to what you got going on this play.
Yeah, man, it's fun getting out in the open and becoming a lead block. We did that a lot in Buffalo and here with the Giants. So we had a little bust up front with the tight end, I believe.
Two
So
on one.
that's why the tight end is supposed to crack down. They played a 9 technique, which messed up the tight end. He's all the way out there, so the DN.
Yeah.
So he should have cracked down on 31 and AT, or no, here we go. Yeah, he should have stayed on 96 and keep going. And AT has the guy outside, but it just kind of gets all pushed out because the DN is always so outside, and we're running towards the numbers, so it kind of gets a little congested. And that's a great job by all of us just like working it out, because I'm not supposed to have 31, but
That's exactly what my thought was, is that you're ad-libbing, because I could see where your eyes are, and you're like, "Well, maybe we're not gonna block 3 guys on 1. Maybe I should get my head to the inside," right? Is that kind of the
yeah,
thought process?
yeah, and I just happened to turn my head in, and 31 was right there, so it worked out great, and great job by Daniel reading that, because
Oh, yeah.
I mean that's not, it doesn't start off pretty, but we get there.
Yeah, I mean, like, this view, if he's obviously gonna continue to the outside, he's gonna get smashed, so
Yeah.
it was a great cut, and then your ability to kinda peel off your original responsibility and pick up the inside guy creates this massive running lane. Obviously, great cut by DJ to get this thing going on the right direction, but
Mm-hmm.
look at that movement ability.
Sneaky athletic.
Sneaky athletic, I love it, man. I got some other pull plays. One of your, like, I think this particular play that I'm gonna show was like where I was like, all right, we have something with uh Mongo Feliciano. Um Watching you get out, explain what you got going here, and then I'll throw my 2 cents in.
Yeah, this is another one of our pin and pull schemes. Um, and so I'm pulling around. I got the force, but then I could feel Bellinger's guy kind of trying to play over the top.
Mhm.
So when that happens, you try to give a hand for him. I got a good one there, and then I can feel Saquon. As soon as that happens, I can feel Saquon on my back. So I'm like, oh shit, I gotta.
Is that 3 tight ends? I don't
Yeah. So ideally, you would like 46 and 82 to double team up to the mic. Um,
Right,
but 40,
46 takes more of a outside angle instead of eyes inside, right?
more helping the 82 to really get some movement there. And then Mav does a great job sealing the Sam, and then we have Nick on the corner. So we and me coming for the safety. So we have the numbers there. Um, Belly starts to lose a little bit over the top. Give him a hand, and then right there I can feel Saquon on my back. And so I was just throwing my body in the way, and Saquon did a great job of just being patient and riding it out with me. I don't know how I stood up at the end either. I thought we were all going down.
I mean, this is a long distance to travel for a center. I mean, you start practically, you are on the
Far hash.
opposite side hash. You have a 3 tight end set to the left, and you got to clear that. Obviously, they're flowing that way. Like, that's a long distance to go. Like, look, you end out of bounds. Like,
Yeah,
it's almost like 50 yards, damn near.
yeah. It was. I pulled a lot in this game. I believe. I believe I was.
Yeah, you did pull a lot.
I was a little tired.
I mean, you had a tough task this game because you had Payne and Jonathan Allen. I mean, probably arguably one of the top interior defensive tackle duos like in the league. Like, those guys are
Yeah, I mean
crazy.
they're real good. John Allen got one of the best hump moves in the game.
There was this one play that it was a total battle. Like, it was you. I think you were trying to down block to the inside. He had a good initial like first punch, but then you recovered and then you blow him out and then he like I don't know, like from his knee, like I don't know, somehow twerked your body around. I was like, what?
Yeah, I know. I know
This
what you're
is
talking
prime
about.
time interior,
I thought
like
he was going to break his elbow. I don't know how he didn't break his elbow. We were literally in the film room, like, how does this guy not break his elbow right here? Like, carry like 320 over his head and propped up like that. It was, yeah,
and he did it from his knee too. And
yeah.
I was like, and it wasn't any like discredit to you. I was like, you
Yeah, no, I
like
was just trying to finish him, and he used my momentum and prop. I don't know how he did it. It was impressive.
yeah, it was crazy. Ah, man, I feel like I had it somewhere around here, but um let me see if I have another because I am enjoying this. Uh I like I like talking film uh with some offensive linemen, man. This is cool. Obviously, like I'm always trying to learn more about the game, learn more about the intricacies of everything that's going on, but
Hmm.
uh man, you've been able to provide some like really really cool insight into what's going on. I have a little pass protection clip on Jonathan Allen. I thought I like to isolate that particular matchup because
Hmm.
again, I think it can help people kind of quantify like, okay, they know Jonathan Allen is a really good defensive tackle. So like obviously if you're able to definitely hold your own against Jonathan Allen, and this is kind of the same sense, right? Of the other pass blocking plays that we kind of broke down earlier too, right?
Yeah, so he knows the slide's coming to his way, so he just tries to play me, um, and I was able to be quick with my offhand and it's just snapping. And once I get a hold of guys, it's pretty smooth.
So when you're in this position, right? And so pre-snap, did you call the protections or did
No,
Jones call the
it
protections?
was me. Yeah.
Is
Um,
that what goes so what is your process like when you come to the line of scrimmage as the guy who has to call the protections?
yeah. It obviously varies week to week, knowing the team's blitzing, what kind of blitzes they do, or what percentage of blitzes they do per down. If it's 1st and 10, or if it's second to 6 to 8, or second and long. We have all of that broke down by percentages and what blitzes they're bringing, and depending on the protection, um, we did a good job of guys being able to, if I wanted to flip a protection, or make a call that was not usually in that group, guys were able to understand what we were trying to do. So when I come out, see, I'm usually already peeking from the huddle to see if they got 4 or 5 down, or if there's a specific nickel that they like to bring, um, more. Like who was the Titans had a guy that they like to bring a lot. So diagnose what defensive personnel they have in, and then if it's third down, you get a lot more odd fronts, or creative fronts that people are starting to do. Um, so figure out who the heck they have in, and once they line up, look at where the safeties are at. Try to, if we have like a slot, read the slot, see if
Mhm.
see if any of the corners are topped off by the safety, and then go from there.
What are you thinking for like hand striking? Like obviously you have your footwork. Your footwork's going to lead you to where you need to be.
Yeah, you see, I'm already almost getting ready to throw my left hand as I snap the ball.
Yeah, there's a lot going on when you're a center playing against a guy like Jonathan Allen, who's right in your hip pocket.
Yeah, I just want you got to get on him quick so he doesn't hump move you. But I think I missed him. You can't really see because I have white gloves on his white, but you can see I missed with my snap hand. But I got my left hand in quick enough that I could slide my snap hand back into his chest plate.
Because that's what you're trying to do, right? Like you're constantly trying to get your hands back to the inside, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to be able to control him better. Obviously, you can grab the outside, but that's where you can also get into holding trouble and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you're like constantly fighting to get your hands back inside.
Mm-hmm.
Lewis says sneaky athletic ? I'd say athletic as hell, man. I'm pumped. That's what I'm saying, man. I tried to tell people I had, we talked about it, but it's just like, dude, like this guy has got some juice to him, and I'm pretty excited. I found the play that we were talking about of Jonathan Allen just being a menace
with his arm. Yeah, let's watch that. Yeah, like how? Yeah, so right here we're doing a inside zone scheme, and they brought a blitz that kind of jacked up, the tight ends messing up. But we had a single call on where I'm coming to double team with the left guard, and then they bring the blitz outside, so everyone starts slanting inside. So I did a good job there getting my head on the outside of him, and then he kind of pushes me off, and then I do everything I can to get back on him. And if I think that DB, if 31 wasn't there, I think Saquon goes right up inside of me and right off AT. Yep. Have a pretty big play. But yeah, I don't understand how he doesn't hurt himself. Like his down arm, like
dude, he's on his knee. Like you got, like I would
if
call
I did that, my right elbow is exploded.
I mean, like I see, like again, he slants inside, so you're trying to double. I mean, you're trying to take over this block regardless, right? So it kind of puts you there.
I'm thinking I'm going to hit him on his inside half, and us, double team up to the linebacker, and then once he slants, ideally, I mean, it's kind of hard. I did a good job here of getting my hat on his outside but then, he did a great job of me. I went so hard to go out that he was able to jack my chest. I gave him my chest, so he was able to push me off. Then, I did a good job of getting back on him.
Yeah, again, like, I love doing like film breakdowns and stuff. And when I talk about offensive line, I'm like, man, listen, you're not going to win always initially. Like the defensive line is going to get you sometimes, but like a big part of it, your recovery, right? Like maintaining, like, again, this didn't go necessarily as planned. I mean, he's this 3 tech, and then slants into basically the A gap, and that changes the whole timing of everything. So he kind of,
and he went so flat that Nick, the left guard, couldn't really get anything on him. So that makes it harder too.
Right, because you guys are like trying to go like almost like hip to hip, kind of split man. Then he's going to go to backer. You take over. You try to get your head on the other side like you do initially, but it's not meant to happen that fast. So in a blink of an eye, Jonathan Allen is into you, bench press, but then the recovery. And then he's a freak and like just crazy that
like, yeah, we were laughing after this play. Me and John Allen, we don't know each other personally, but we played each other a lot in the last 3 years, so we have a mutual like friendship, I guess. And I was like, bro, how didn't you break your elbow right there? And he was like,
We had the same questions. I was like, there's so much going on this play because again, I'd give initially to Allen, but then you clean it up, and then like you said, the hole is there and it works out perfectly. But you had the DB crash down and kind of mess it up. But then just Jonathan Allen is a freak, man. But dude, this is cool. I could do this for hours. But I don't want to keep you too long. I mean, we're already going on an hour, and I appreciate your time
no
so
problem.
much, man. This has been a blast. Like again, if I could talk to offensive linemen every day, I would. Just I'm learning more from watching. Jay Tan says, "Oh, lineman nerding out." 100%. It's been a blast. I got a super chat I wanted to get in here though. Gammon said, "What is your favorite pregame meal?"
It depends. If it's an early game, just an omelet. I do the same omelet every day. It's just peppers, onions, spinach, tomatoes, and cheese, bacon, turkey sausage.
The whole
But
kitchen.
yeah, if it's a night game, it's or a later on game, it's just spaghetti, meat sauce. Do I cook my own food? Yep. Top song to get you pumped to lift weights. Lift weights, I don't care. But I do listen to the same song right before we go out for the game. Your Hand in Mine, the Friday Night Lights song.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my go-to, and then definitely Marvel. DC sucks.
You're gonna fit in pretty well with George Kittle. Have you met George Kittle? Yeah, I'm sure you have. I think he's a really
Yeah. I met him a couple times. Yeah, good dude.
bigger than life personality. Shout out to Gammon for the question, and we'll end it on this because I love asking offensive lineman food questions. And since you have been a resident of the Bay Area, and this is an ongoing debate amongst 49ers fans, In-N-Out or
Yeah,
Five
overrated.
Guys?
It's
You said In-N-Out's overrated? Oh,
overrated. The fries are ass. The burger's good. I give them the burger, but right now though, I will say I want an In-N-Out kick. Definitely had it a couple times since I've been there. Haven't had Five Guys in a while, but narrowly, I'll say In-N-Out narrowly beats out Five Guys. But
you said In-N-Out beats out Five Guys.
yeah, narrowly.
Have you had the grilled cheeseburger from Five Guys?
No.
That's 10 out
The
of
thing
10.
I like about Five Guys too is you can
highly recommend.
Yeah, you can get different things. Like the hot dog from there is pretty good. They make it good. So, but right now, I'll give it an In-N-Out right now.
Okay.
But yeah, the fries. If they had better fries, it would be really good.
I say it's hands down Five Guys has better fries. Like I've had this In-N-Out bias for a long time. I even had In-N-Out last night. Shame on me. But I would say I've recently been introduced to this grilled cheeseburger, and I'm like, dude, this is one of the. It's just I don't know. It's the perfect combination.
Is it like grilled cheese with like a burger or like with a patty inside, or is it like
it's like a sourdough round? So it's a different bun. Like it's a different bun. Then you add the patty. You can add different condiments or whatever to it, but it's like packed with cheese. I'm a big melty cheese guy, so I'm like, dude, like I'm not gonna lie. I'll get two of them. I'll take them down. I'm like, I'm a happy man. I can't do much after, but man, it's good. I would try it out. It's worth a try.
No, that's two old linemen talking about food.
On brand. Well, dude, this has been a blast. I mean, you've only been a 49er for like a month or two.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I'm really, really excited to see what you're going to bring to the table. I mean, I love the vibes, man. I see like what you can do on the field, and I'm just really, really excited about like what you're going to bring to this room. And again, I think, you know, the 49ers have a pretty solid offensive line, and you being added to it is only going to improve it. And I'm really looking forward to what this year brings. And training camp, man. Training camp, you know, it's going to be here before we know it. And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's where the competition begins, right?
Yep, that'll be fun.
Dude, thank you so much, man. I'm going to hang with the people for a little bit, but thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it and really looking forward to what you got cooking this year.
No problem, man. I appreciate it. I had a great time. It was fun. I like watching film.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Might have to get you back on here during the dead time. We do a more in depth film session or something. But again, man,
I'll
appreciate
be
you so
here.
much. Thank you, man.
All right, bro.
All right, peace out. Have a good day.
You too.
All right, peace. Just a couple of big boys talking about burgers and football. Um, I like him. Uh, he seems super chill. Super chill. But when he gets on that field, like that's a dog. Um, I'm I'm telling you, man, like obviously the offensive line that we got is legit. Like we got Trent, Banks, Brendel, Burford, McKivitz, but you put Big John in the mix. And again, he said he's competing. We don't know where. But he's going to be competing for a spot. He's competing to start. So, I mean, we talk about this concept all the time, right? We talk about it all the time. Competition breeds success. Like it's going to bring the best out of these guys. So, you bring a guy in here with the mentality that I'm trying to start. I don't care where. I'm here to start. And I love that. I freaking love that mentality. So we don't know how it's going to play out, but man, he's gonna bring the heat. I'm telling you, he's yeah. We watched a little bit of the film, man. Telling you, like I remember this. Like I was posting a bunch of clips on Twitter when I found out that we signed him because I went through. I watched watched Philly. I watched him versus the Commanders, and I think I watched one other tape. And I was like, dude, this dude's a starter. I was like, I think I even tweeted that. I was like, we just signed a starter. I was like, he he's not a backup. Like Feliciano is not a backup. He is a starting caliber offensive lineman that the 49ers just signed. They signed him on a 1 year, but he he's legit. Like he's not coming in here, you know, at least mentality wise to be a backup. And I love that. Love that. Um Now it remains to be seen, you know, where he'll be competing and what spot he's going for. But man, I love it all, man. I love it all. I love that he called protections for, you know, being center. So that's a whole nother level of processing that you have to have as an offensive lineman. You're not worried about just the guy in front of you or your responsibility on that particular play. You're worried about the responsibilities for the entire play. You got to put your offensive line, your four other guys in a position to be successful. And that's step one. Then you got to go do your job. So that tells you he's smart. That tells you he can process it, and you see the ability. The ability's there, and uh, I mean, he's got a plan to play 3, 4 more years. I'm excited, man. That was cool. We got our first film. Next time, those were cut ups for Twitter. Next time, I'm gonna make sure we do it proper, and I get the raw film, and I make my notes like I normally do. So that was a learning curve. That was a learning experience. Because I would have loved to just have, like we normally do our film breakdowns, all my notes, timestamps, raw film, go to each play, scrub it back and forth. But uh nonetheless, great, great conversation. Great conversation. We probably could have did another hour on burgers. Um, so totally on brand for offensive line. Um, yeah, that was dope. That was really cool. Super chill, dude. Super, super chill, dude. What did you guys think? What did you think of Jonathan Feliciano? A little intro into one of the new offensive linemen for the 49ers. Did you like him? Um, what do you think? You think he can be a guy? I mean, some of you guys maybe just saw his tape for the first time, and again, it was some. uh, And I have to say, like, I'm not just picking and pulling, man, on some of those clips. Like, he's pretty consistent. Like, he's consistently good. He's consistently on the move. He's, you know, the only times that I really saw him like struggle or have a sign of struggle was against guys like Javon Hargrave, and he talked about the move that he got him with. Uh, and I knew what he was. I knew one of the moves he was talking about, but I'm I'm pleasantly. I like this signing. He seems chill, super chill. He's a dog. Excited to watch him get to work. Great guy, great interview. Thank you, appreciate that. He seems determined. I like it. See, that's the thing, man. Like, he's a vet. 9 years. He's not coming to play around. Like, he's about that action, boss. So that's the thing. Like, wherever he's competing for, or whichever spot he's competing for, those guys that are competing are going to improve. They're going to get better. Um, I'm excited. Chrissy says, I liked him. I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for him too. He's a cool dude. Marvel, honestly, I'm sold on him. uh, apparently, I froze. Uh, Superb show and format. Appreciate that, man. He did mention getting he is he is championship motivated. I mean, you think about it, like he signed a pretty modest 1-year deal. That's why I was so confused. That's why I was so confused. I was expecting, like, I knew of Jonathan Feliciano. I wasn't familiar with his game at all. I knew of him. He was a Raider. I knew him from when he was with the Raiders. Uh, I remember Pat McAfee at one point was talking about, I think last year, I caught an episode where he was talking about, like, the Giants got a dog in Feliciano. He's a really good player, got a dog. I was like, okay, well, I don't watch Giants games like that. Um, and then getting into the tape, I was like trying to match up the contract he signed with what he was doing on tape. And I was like, it's not computing because he's a starter, but he didn't necessarily sign a starter contract, but he wants a championship. He's here to win. He is here to win. I like that. I like that. He's here to win. He's here to compete. He's here to win. He's here to win the job. So I liked him already. Like, obviously, clearly I liked him. I brought him on the show because I really liked what I saw on tape. And like, I've never talked to uh, like a fresh 49er. Like, I've talked to guys who've been on the roster for a while. Um, and I like him more. I like him a lot more. Lewis says, awesome interview. Nice job, bro. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Our wavelength is chips. I need to I've gone to Raising Cane's once, and it was really good, but I don't think I ordered it properly. So I need to redo. Awesome show, good dude. Definitely a good dude. Uh Badass, cool as hell, and championship on the mind. He's gonna fit right in and kick ass. Uh Absolutely. Absolutely. Great question, Gammon, by the way. Ah, I forgot to dang. I had the tax question set up. I had it set up and I think we pivoted somewhere to a different. I think he gave me an opening for an organic transition and I took it. But I did have it in my notes. I was going to try to ask that question. He definitely sounds serious. Size the rings, like his energy. He's nasty. Uh, he's Puerto Rican? Feliciano. Uh, but yeah, man, that was cool. It's always cool, especially for these offensive linemen, man. We got to get these offensive linemen more love. I got to figure out what other offensive linemen I can get on the show. I want to watch more tape. I kind of just want to do that and just kind of learn more. Like I I know about offensive line, but I don't know like these guys know. Like I think I could I think I could be dangerous, you know? I think I could get by, but these guys are on a completely different level of like intricacies, responsibilities, what technique, everything. It's just a whole different level. Um, but I love just getting that opportunity to chop it up with those guys, man. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. William says we could have a nasty O line. I mean, again, he held his own against Payne. He held his own against Jonathan Allen all day, and they were pulling him like crazy that day. He was all over the field. I think that's one of my favorite traits about him is that he can pull, like because you look at him, he's thick boy, like thick boy, like damn boy, he's thick. That's a thick ass boy. Like he's thick, and that's good. But he's thick and can move. Pause. But you get my point. Um, he he's that's what I said. Like he's like, is he like Brunskill? Is he like Brunskill or counter of Brunskill? You know what I mean? Like Brunskill was super technical, but he's light. He was lighter frame. He talked about it before. He had to just pack on pounds. Um, had to pack on pounds, but he is. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited about that. That's a good point. What are your thoughts on what he could mean with Joey? I see some similarities in nastiness. That's actually that's actually a really good comp, to be honest. That's a good comp. I think obviously Joey played tackle. It's going to it's going to be interesting to see if they kick him inside. I think he can play tackle, but he does look like he does have some like guard versatility to him. Like he could definitely kick inside, but it does also look like he could hold his own on the edge. But I do like the Feliciano cop. I like that a little bit. I do. Yeah, like Brunskill was definitely like a technician. He was technical. He's fast. First step quickness. Uh, definitely used technique. Uh, Feliciano's he got that dog in him. So uh, awesome interview. I appreciate the time that he gave. I'm gonna come better prepared with better. I'm not gonna do the clip thing anymore. Um, that just is too difficult, and it was so zoomed in on just like him. It's hard to kind of see the whole thing play out. So I noted that we're gonna if I ever have a player on again and we do the film breakdowns, we're gonna do it like our normal film breakdowns where I just have my call sheet basically, my notes, and then I make a specified special list for the clips. We just pop our way through. But yeah, man, that was fun. I'm excited. Uh, I think I think the O line. I think the O line's going to be in better shape. I know we made a lot about 49ers going to tackle, but I know that they have a lot of faith in Colton McKivitz, as do I. Um, and we're going to have some offensive line competition. So let's go. Shout out to all you guys for tapping in. Smash that like button on the channel if you haven't already. Sub if you haven't. Appreciate all you guys. Support. Shout out to the SDS. Shout out to the Mod Squad. The vibes in the chat today, well done. Again, I cannot express enough how much I appreciate you guys just having good vibes in the chat when we bring on a guest. It's like we're making him feel welcome, and it's like I can bring you guys in, and we can we want to keep the vibes high. So, and we want to keep bringing these guys back and all that type stuff. So appreciate all you guys, all the vibes. Welcome them to the squad. Like that stuff's cool. I love seeing that. So shout out to the SDS, legendary gang. Um, shout out, thank you, Charlene. I appreciate that. My guy Justin, appreciate you, man. Um, I might be live again later today. This might not be the last live. You might have to see this ginger beard another time because we have schedule release, right? 5. Got schedule release at 5. Might have to do like a reaction show or something like that. Or just kind of run through the schedule, kind of react to it. Obviously, we got some leaks already. We got a couple games. Talk to talked to Feliciano about playing the Giants week 3. He's definitely looking forward to that one. That was good stuff. Shout out Feliciano, man. All right, guys, grab your cookies on the way out. Appreciate y'all. I'm out of here. Peace. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to